Hello and welcome to a new edition of Today's Youth, and today we will be meeting with two gymnastics champions who won the African Championship, the first and second place in the African Championship for 2021. And they both represented Egypt in several local and international tournaments and championships. I'm very delighted to be joined here at the studio today by Malak Hamza. She's a trampoline gymnastic champion and she's qualified for Tokyo 2020 rather. Thank you very much for joining us, Malak, and congratulations, of course.
Thank you.
Mariam Osama also, she's specialized in trampoline gymnastics, and she won the second place in the African Championship 2021. Thank you very much for joining us, Mariam. And congratulations for both of you. You both reserved the first and second place in the African Championship 2021.
That's correct.
That's correct. Right. Well, to start with, first tell me, Malak, how did you feel? Describe your feeling when you knew that you were qualified for the Olympics, Tokyo Olympics 2020.
Of course, I was beyond happy. I couldn't actually believe myself. I kept thinking that finally, after all the hard work, and I've been working really hard for this dream to come true. So, and I actually took a couple of days to process what actually happened.
Right. Mariam, also tell me about your feeling when you won the second place in the African Championship 2021.
Well, to me, it was an achievement because I've worked so hard for this competition, and I've had bad luck in 2019, and 2020 we did not participate in any competitions. So 2021, this was my first competition after the bad year I had. So I was very satisfied.
Right, great. Well, tell me, how does it feel when you are representing your country, you're representing Egypt?
It's a huge honor, of course. It's amazing, and it feels amazing that you have the opportunity to be in the national team of your own country. So it does feel amazing.
Yeah, Mariam, tell me, describe your feeling when you are representing Egypt.
It's an amazing feeling. It's always an honor. I look forward to always representing Egypt in multiple sports or in
Yes, of course. Best of luck in all your tournaments, in all your upcoming championships. Right. Malak, how are you preparing for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics? Tell me about the preparations, the hours of training. How many hours do you train daily?
First of all, the federation and the coaches related to the federation, they start putting plans, whether it's on the trampoline or conditioning training or mental training. The federation does so, and also the club.
Yeah.
Also, like foreign coaches, we have a foreign coach. Our club, Gezira Club, asked for his help. We train about 5 days per week. It depends on the plan. Sometimes we have good days, so we can train 6 days per week. Sometimes it's not as good, so we train about 5 days per week. It's from 2 to 3 hours, and it depends whether we have fitness or conditioning training, whether we have mental training. We can do it with the trampoline training or maybe at home.
Right, so you're training almost on daily basis?
Yes.
Until the Olympics time, until you travel?
Yes.
Right. Mariam, what are your expectations for the upcoming Olympics, Tokyo 2020?
For Malak?
For Malak, for Egypt in general?
Well, for Egypt, we are a very big, the numbers are very big participating from Egypt. For Malak and my colleague Saif, I know they're going to make me proud and make Egypt proud in the next Olympics.
Yes, sure. We're looking forward to this. Malak, you joined the gymnastics trampoline at the age of 14. That's what you told me.
Yes,
so that was a bit of an obstacle to you. You felt that it's a bit late, or they told you it's a bit late, but you overcame this obstacle.
Yes, it actually has been a huge obstacle because gymnastics requires flexibility, fitness, strength, and all that. And from an old age, not an old age, but a bit of a late age, it's kind of difficult for us to, or for me, to build the strength needed to compete an elite, in an elite level. And not only that, gymnastics, starting from an early age, helps a lot in your air awareness. Air awareness is that you start your routines, for example, or an element, and you know where you are, you can feel your body. So because I didn't start in an early age, it was difficult for me to have air awareness, and
Yes.
I've had a lot of obstacles related to that, such as mental blocks. I sometimes can go to training and I don't remember how I could or how to jump like a specific element or anything.
Right. Well, Mariam, you played or you joined gymnastics at a very early age, right?
I did.
And you play both artistic gymnastics and trampoline gymnastics.
Yes.
Tell me about your start and at what age did you start?
I started when I was 3 years old because of my sister. She's older than Jimmy.
She's the elder sister.
She's 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
I started, it was very easy for me because I liked the sport and I saw my sister train every day. So it wasn't easy, but it was exciting for me. I switched to trampoline when I was 15
Yes.
because of an injury in my wrist. So I had to
You had to
start
switch
another sport, yes, because of
You cannot put much strength on your hand.
no pressure at all.
No pressure at all. Right. Malak, since you're specialized in gymnastics trampoline, tell me more about the history of this sport in Egypt. When did it start?
As far as I can remember, Madame Lamia Saur, she's a member in Gezira Sporting Club. She started offering or asking about trampoline, and she started making like, I'm not sure how to say it, but talking to foreign people or people from the FIG to start a trampoline in
To
Egypt.
introduce the
Yeah.
sport
Yes,
in Egypt.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
To introduce the sport in Egypt. It started in 2010, and from then people started joining from Gezira Sporting Club and other clubs, and they started to form a national team, and actually they started competing in African Championships and Arab Games in 2010.
Right. Tell me who supported you at the very beginning. Was it your mom, your dad? Who was your great support at the beginning?
My mom, of course, especially because she wasn't really strict about the sport. She always wanted me to enjoy what I'm doing and to love what I'm doing, and it wasn't something, I was not obliged to do it. I was
Yes.
doing it because I love it. So my mom mainly, and my coaches.
And Mariam, who supported you
My mom and my sister, my dad, they played a huge part
in this?
Yes.
Right. And do you play any other sports? Any other sports? Yeah.
I used to play things like volleyball, basket, or rowing, but I didn't actually like compete.
So you started before gymnastics?
Yes.
These other sports?
Yes.
Yeah. And Mariam?
No, all my life I played gymnastics, then I switched to trampoline. But it's very easy for gymnasts to join any other sport.
Any other sport?
Yes.
Because of the strength that
The strength
it
and the
provides you.
flexibility and the mindset of a gymnast I can switch
Can
to any
manage
other
to
yes,
any other,
exactly.
yeah. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about the mindset of a gymnast.
The mindset of a gymnast is very complicated. We can manage to train more than 5 hours a day
Yeah.
and go home, study, eat, relax, and then go to school the next
You
morning.
get used to this at a
We
very
get
early
used to
age.
this. So when we're older, it's routine.
It's okay.
Yes. So because of the strength, the flexibility, the agility of a gymnast, any other sport is pretty easy. Football, tennis. It just takes a few months to start a new sport and maybe excel in it.
And of course, you're fast learners when it comes
Yes.
to sports.
Yes.
Right. Now, how important is sports to youth, in your opinion, Malak?
Of course, it's very important because we as athletes in general, we learn a lot of things from sports, such as consistency or responsibility, not giving up. A lot of things, you can learn a lot of things from sports, like how to deal with any challenges that you might face. So it's actually very important.
And how can you manage your time between the training time, the long hours of training, and your education?
It's pretty hard, especially in college. It's very hard to actually manage to excel in this and in this, because a gymnast always wants to excel in both sides or all aspects of life.
Yeah.
But it's manageable. But sometimes you have to sacrifice something here to gain something here. So
Yeah, and Mariam, you're studying engineering,
Yes.
right? Which is not an easy, of course, it's not an
It's
easy
not.
major, it's not an easy field.
yes.
So why did you choose engineering?
I actually chose engineering because I used to travel a lot. I actually travel a lot. And I always get mesmerized by the buildings and old architecture, because my major is architecture. So in Russia or any other country,
Italy is well
I've
known
never been
for
to Italy, but I
for
would
the
love to.
beautiful classic architecture.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
The styles there and everything about the buildings attracts me.
So that was the main cause for this choice.
Yes.
And Malak, you're studying business?
Business, yes, that's correct.
Tell me more about your choice of business. Why did you choose business?
I used to study arts in school, so it wasn't really flexible, or it wasn't really easy for me to choose anything related to science or engineering or anything. Also because I wanted to join something that wasn't as hard, because I spend a lot of time in training.
In training, yeah.
Yes, so this is why I chose business.
Right, and are you planning to have a career in business?
I'm not sure, of course, because at the moment I already have a job, and I used to coach. So I'm not sure about joining anything in the business field.
Yeah.
Maybe in graphics or something, because I'm starting to work on myself for that.
You're starting to work on graphics.
Yes.
And you already have a job, you just said.
Yes.
Tell me more about this job.
I'm a voiceover and dubbing actor. I basically translate English or any foreign movies into Arabic, which is, I find it really fun.
So you do the translation itself, or you do the voiceover and the dubbing?
The voiceover and the dubbing. The
Yeah.
translation comes from the script.
And you're working on this how many hours a week?
It depends, because I'm a freelancer.
Freelance.
Yes, exactly. So I choose my own schedule. I choose when I'd like to work, how many hours. So it's flexible.
So you're a multitasking lady,
Yes.
right? You're practicing sports. You train many hours a week, and at the same time you go to university. You're a business student, and at the same time you're working.
Yes.
Great. Well, what did the sports add to you, Mariam, on the personal level, as a character?
On a personal level, it added discipline. I'm independent. It added a lot to my personality. Whenever I start something, I have to perfect it. I have to excel in it, whatever it is, not just gymnastics.
And Malak, are you planning to continue in your sports career? I mean, are you planning, for example, to continue with coaching?
Yes, of course. Well, coaching, of course, because I really enjoy coaching, because I enjoy the sport. I love the sport. So teaching people or other athletes or gymnasts what you've learned, it feels actually really amazing.
Yeah, and Mariam, in your opinion, what are the most important attributes of a gymnast, a good gymnast?
Discipline, strength, and flexibility, maybe. But I feel like everything can be acquired, but discipline is very, very important in a gymnast. And the way they handle themselves, the way they think is very important.
And Malak, what's your say? What's your take on that?
I actually agree. And I would also like to add maybe sportsmanship.
Yes.
I think it's very, very important. Yes.
Which countries are gymnastics and trampoline most popular around the world?
China and Russia, maybe.
Yes, Canada, Great Britain.
Armenia also?
No, I'm not
so much.
familiar, yes.
We're not.
Russia is well known for gymnastics
Yes.
and ballet
Yes.
and these types of
Gymnastics and
sports.
trampoline.
Yeah. And who are the most popular gymnasts around the world in any other country and in Egypt, of course?
Gymnastics, I'm not sure, but trampoline, I know it differs because there are popular athletes in men and in women. In women, for example, there is Rosie McLennan and Bernie Page. There's a lot actually because they don't stay in the same rank every time. Maybe Rosie McLennan because she's a two-time Olympic champion.
Yeah. What's her nationality?
She's Canadian.
Canadian.
Yes. But other than that, every competition there are different top 8 athletes or top 24. So it's not actually something
Trampoline is a very unstable sport.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Why is it unstable?
because it's more of a depends on luck, mainly, but also training. But the trampoline it requires so many things like mental toughness and the way you land on the trampoline may not be the same every single time. So the results may be different.
And who are the most important or most popular trampoline or gymnastic players in Egypt throughout history or throughout whenever did trampoline started?
Okay. For men, as far as I know, Saif Esser, the national team member, the national team athletes like Saif Esser or Khaled Hussein, yes, Rodi,
Mohab Ayman.
yes, Omar Wael. There's actually a lot. There are about, I don't know, 14 maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
And in girls, me and Mariam.
Definitely.
Yes, and Ashrakat, Manar, Farah. We have a lot of athletes actually. They're all very good.
Right. And what are your goals for this year?
Too bad the year isn't as long as we were expecting. We only have the Olympics and the World Championships in the I don't know, maybe next November. So these are the only competitions, or yes, these are the only competitions we have for this year. So hopefully after the Olympics we could qualify for the World Championships.
So after you come back from the Olympics, you will start another preparation.
Yes.
How do you prepare for the World Championship?
It's kind of always the same. We might not have the same plan because everything changes. Sometimes we need to work on our skills. We need to work on perfecting our routines, and sometimes we need to work on learning new skills.
Maybe work on the height. Maybe work on the stability.
Exactly.
Different things.
Mariam, what is the one thing that could make you decide to be a gymnastic coach?
I am a coach.
You are already a coach.
Yes, I work in Nadi Said shooting club. I work, I train a very young age. It's very nice.
And are you planning to continue in this career? I mean, as a gymnastic coach in the future, I mean.
Maybe, but
Both of
for
you.
me, for me, it's gonna be not full time, of course. I'm gonna have to make a career on my own, but it's definitely something I have to think about.
And where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
It's very hard to tell, but hopefully as successful as I dream to be, whether in work or sports or whatever field that I dream about, or I hope I success in life in general. I become successful in life in general.
Well, for me, I just want to be known for the person who made a difference in whether the sport or my major,
Engineering career?
major.
I mean, you're studying engineering, Mariam. Are you planning to work as an engineer, or you are planning to have a sports career?
Both, actually.
You want
trying to work
to
on
keep
that.
both together?
Yes. I've managed school or studying and sports together since I was maybe 5 years old, so it's gonna be like this.
Right, Mariam, you said you traveled a lot, so definitely, and of course you, Malak, you met a lot of youth from different nationalities. Do you think that youth around the world have the same common goals and objectives and challenges?
No, definitely not.
Maybe
Because
same dreams, but not. I don't think that it's.
I don't think everyone
the
has
challenges
the
are
same challenges
different.
because they're different and they're living in different environments. So everyone's circumstances are different. Therefore, it's not going to be the same.
And talking about gymnastics and trampoline in Egypt, what do you think is needed to develop the sport further?
More support from Egypt's government, maybe. The government of youth and sports definitely needs to give more attention to the sports. Also the media. We need a lot of attention.
Because we're actually close. We're not that far.
Yeah.
Trampoline is not. It's old outside in other countries, not in Egypt. But we've come a very long way. We're very close. We're not that far from other athletes. We're actually good. So we do have the skill and the ability. We just lack some things that is not actually really related to
Support.
us. As athletes.
Right, and how many times did Egypt compete in the Olympics in the gymnastics and trampoline?
Well, gymnastics, Shireen Zaini and Salma Saeed, Mohamed Saharti, all of them, they competed
In
several
previous
times.
years?
2012, 2008, I think. I'm not quite
And
sure.
Youth Olympic Games as well.
And Youth Olympic Games, and Ayman and Ilhami. In trampoline was Mohab Ayman and Shaukat Sharif. They both competed in the Youth Olympic Games in
2014.
14, maybe. We're not sure.
But in seniors, it's the first time in history that two athletes from Egypt compete in the Olympics.
So this is the first time in history
Yes.
that two athletes from Egypt will
Yes.
be competing in the upcoming Olympics.
Yes.
So it's you, Malak, and
Saif Esser, my coach.
And
he's
Saif
an
Esser.
athlete and also a coach.
right. So you will both be competing in the Tokyo Olympics.
Yes.
Great. I would also like you to tell me a message, give a message to the youth from your place here, out of your experience, out of your the many obstacles that you met in your life so far. I mean, during your sports career, what message would you like to give to the youth from your place here?
First of all, never give up. And second of all, don't compare yourself to others. Focus on yourself. This is your competition. You're competing with yourself. You're trying to put yourself in a position that is way better than you were before. So just focus on yourself, focus on your goals and your targets, and don't look around.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Stop listening to everyone that says you can't do it, because you can if you put the effort, put your mind.
When
to
there's
it.
a will, there's a way.
When there's a will, there's a way. Always.
Well, great. You definitely encountered a lot of obstacles and you overcame them. What was the most difficult one?
For me, it was, I had something called, I still actually have it, I'm working on it. It's called lost move syndrome, or a mental block. It's basically that you go to training in a normal day and you just want to start your routine, and suddenly you just forgot how to correctly do the elements. So it was a huge obstacle. Even in my podium training in the African Championships, I couldn't actually train. I was a bit stressed about it. So this is a huge obstacle, and I think that it's because, or it happened to me because I didn't start gymnastics from a young age.
Well, for me, my wrist injury, it's very serious. It's still, till this day, there. But just giving up gymnastics and having to retire from it was just very hard for me, because I trained so hard to get to where I was.
Yeah.
But I overcame it, and I'm beyond proud of myself that I did.
Yeah, Mariam Osama, artistic gymnastic and trampoline gymnastic champion, and Malak Hamza, trampoline champion. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you
and
for having
all
us.
the best of luck to you, to both of you, and the very special best of luck to you, Malak, in the upcoming Tokyo 2020. We're waiting for you to come back and join us after the Tokyo Olympics.
Okay, thank you.
Many
Thank you for
thanks.
having us.
Thank you very much. And dear viewers, that brings us to the end of this edition of Today's Youth. Many thanks for watching, and don't forget to join us next week, same time, with a new episode and a new success story.